To say that he stands for something and he believes in this team. Milestone, of course, for the new Australian who has called the A-League home for a number of years now. And he will be assisted tonight by Anton Shetinin and David Walsh. Adam Kersey's the fourth official, and the VAR, if required, is Chris Griffiths-Jones. So, one for the diehards as far as the Raw fans at the ground tonight. But as you can see there is a loyal core that is sticking with this team, desperate to see that first win. And Newcastle on the road. A couple of talented youngsters, Eli Adams and Keegan Jelicic, exchanging pleasantries before kickoff. But once it's down to business, expect this to be a tough tackling affair. The Jets have shown themselves to be a team that can get stuck in this season in spite of their relative youth. Will those young, hopeful fans in the stands see a Brisbane Roar win to remember tonight? Underway at Suncorp, it's Brisbane Roar against the Newcastle Jets, and I'm joined by former A-League champion Eric Partaloo. And Eric, at this end of the table, it's as simple as you've got to start winning and get on a roll.
Yeah, good evening, Teo. It's a pattern that's been formed for this Brisbane Roar side already, and unfortunately it's not been a positive one on the results side, but performances have looked better in recent weeks. But this being their third game out of home out of the last four, you feel tonight has to be a turning point in their season. The Newcastle Jets, I really like what I've seen from them so far, even though they did blow that 2-0 lead against Sydney FC in the last game. But they look energetic, they look dangerous going forward. Rob Stanton looks as though he's managing this group of young players in the right direction.
How both teams start tonight could be indicative of what's to come. Clayton Taylor protected the ball well there. Daniel Wilmering as he hugs the left sideline. Full of praise for Ben Gibson, the young forward, of course. Rob playing around the back here. Natter. Now the incisive pass. Clayton Taylor, a fairly blatant grab of the shirt from Louis Zavala. And even though Taylor's asking for a card just 90 seconds into the game, it looks as though Ali Reza Fagani in game 100 is going to be a bit lenient.
It has to be a yellow card. Doesn't matter if it's the first minute or the last. It's a professional foul. And it's great work from the Newcastle Jets trying to draw out that sort of pressure and play through the lines. That's exactly why you take that risk, trying to get through. And they almost did through the middle third.
So Zabala definitely on notice for his next foul, you would suspect. As Natter becoming increasingly confident with his passing range. Sweeps the ball over to Aquilina. Now Kankar. And Natter. Raw happy to stand off almost at halfway at the moment. Waiting to see when they start getting interested in trying to press the ball. Zimmerino now rises to a jog. Newcastle relatively comfortable in possession at the moment. And we were speculating when we saw the lineups, Eric, as to what the formation would be. Costa Grozos currently more than happy to plant himself into the centre of defence.
Yeah, jumping in between, just making himself that extra number. And that's good pressure from the Raw there. That's much better. Waiting for that moment. But you can see the Newcastle Jets, the best passing completion in the competition at 87%. And it's about how can they use that ball a bit further forward rather than their own half.
Now the Raw's chance to build. Brissett. And around the defence, the Raw players go. Well insured. Jack Ingham. His pass intercepted by Taylor, but the second ball is there for Jay O'Shea. That's Ruben Zadkovic's voice there. You can hear simple, simple. The win probability almost dead on. I mean, in almost 20 years of head-to-heads, it's Raw have scored 68 times, Newcastle 74, and there's only 2 wins the difference in that time as well. So understandably, not much to split them. And again, Newcastle lay in wait at the halfway line and now start to expand out, chasing possession here. Quick to call off the press, though. Bit of safety first from both teams to start the night. Harrington. Good touch for Jelicic, but not interested in actually taking the ball. For Ben Halloran, coming off a goal last week, or last start, I should say, at the weekend against the Mariners. It's his first in 18 for Ben Halloran, so a breakthrough of sorts for him. Now, sure, the more aggressive pass, and it's straight onto the head of the defender, Philip Kanka.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than when you've been building up and then you finally get to step in, as we see Shaw right in the middle, just knock that ball sort of aimlessly. I know they get a throw in a good area, but can they try and thread that pass into somebody's feet? Play with that front two tonight. Januari is one of those players, and himself and Jelicic have to hold the ball up, and they've got to make good runs in order for Brisbane Roar to make passes to them. It's as simple as that.
Now the quick distribution gets Wilmering into the attacking half. Rob Standen applauding from the sideline at the directness of the play, but Wilmering's pass couldn't match the run. Wheeling in midfield. And Bayliss protects the ball back to Natta. Lots of directing traffic as Newcastle try to play through the Roar front three in midfield, and the ball has been spilled. Out of the tangle, Hingett made a presence. Zavala, O'Shea. Jay O'Shea goes for the diagonal. Brissett, oh, he let it bounce and it got big on him. It became very difficult. It was crying out for a first touch on the end of the diag, but he decided to trust the surface. Maybe it shouldn't have been. Timmins has the ball to Natta. He's going to guide it over the top. Gibson with it all to do. He's trying to outmuscle his younger central defensive opponent in Harrington, but that one was Macklin Freak's ball. An aggressive run from Timmins, and he pops it out into space. Gibson's away now.